Hegseth, as a Fox News Weekend morning show anchor, championed Trump's intervention in the military justice system during his first presidency.
Well, that's right. And I wrote a piece in the first Trump administration about his pardoning war criminals and the message that that sends to the troops who are serving. It's the same message. You can commit crimes on the battlefield and not be held accountable. And again, that's a scary proposition.
What are you hearing from folks inside the Pentagon?
Yeah, well, first of all, this is really, really dangerous. And as the general just said, and I'm glad that we're actually talking about it, because a lot of us, especially in the security world, we didn't want to talk about this for a long time. Remember, Nicole, during the last Trump administration, Trump asked the Secretary of Defense why he could not shoot protesters in the leg using our military. And we had a Secretary of Defense then who was a man of honor who basically said, Mr. President, we cannot do that. What is he doing now? With this purge, and let's call it a purge, it's a litmus test, it's a purge, it's a personal loyalty test. He wants to replace these leaders with people who are more loyal to him than to the Constitution. And I think we need to discuss the fact that if you replace leaders who will then be more inclined to use the military, perhaps against our own people, which I never thought I would say this, and then, as the general just pointed out, you replace the JAGs, those are the lawyers that would then say, hey, you can't do this. You replace them, put them new people in who could now justify these unethical, potentially illegal orders, justify them as legal. That is a move in the wrong direction, and it is something that every American needs to be worried about right now.
I want to press you on that. There is a very clear sign that Americans have received the memo that a lot of what's happening is not what they thought they were going to get. I want to broaden this to General Mark Milley, who also invited such deep rage from Trump and MAGA for saying this sentence, quote, I want to understand white rage, and I'm white, and I want to understand it. And it was in the context of wanting to understand why so many white men and women stormed the United States Capitol on January 6th. He's someone that Donald Trump accused of, quote, treason, a crime punishable by death.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, I think, and it's bigger than just recruiting. I mean, the military is run by people who you want to keep. So it's not just people that when we look at how is this going to affect, it's not just people coming in. It's what kind of leaders are we going to keep in our military? But I want to take it just as the last word. We focus on diversity, and that's important. But these recent purges, we also have to focus on the fact that he could easily put people who are yes men in these key positions. And that is what is unprecedented. It's unprecedented not only in terms of the potential for domestic use of the military here at home, but also the fact that you do not get good counsel from people who are yes men. And we're talking about, potentially invading Panama, and he's talking about Greenland and all these stupid things like bombing Mexico. And who is our military led by? I think we also have to really think about that as we look at this Saturday night or Friday night very dishonorable way that Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump got rid of those senior military officers.